Hello!
Hello.
Cheers, everybody! 2/3 of Wasting Money 1 coming at ya.
Cheers. Wait, what?
Cheers!
Oh.
Alright. So today, me and Dennis have compiled our top 15 favorite movies of all time.
Oh boy.
This is very exciting. I was working on my list all day at school, and Dennis was working on his feverishly while we were playing GoldenEye on the old N64. We're gonna go from 15 to 1. We're just gonna jump into it. Let's go. Who wants to go first? Rock, paper, you.
Oh. What?
Go.
Oh.
Get more on the center.
I don't have a number 15.
Oh, you only did 14?
I guess I only did 14.
Alright, I'll do 15. You start with 14.
Alright, let's go.
Number 15, for me. The Party. Ah! Oh, it's you again. Starring Peter Sellers, directed by Blake Edwards. This is a movie that, like most of these, I grew up with. Birdie Num Num. Just a great, funny movie. It has a great ending. Very colorful. Peter Sellers is hilarious. It wouldn't feel right if I didn't have that on my list. So, The Party. Okay, 14.
14. I had to go with The Gremlins. You know, it was a movie I watched when I was younger. I haven't watched it recently, but I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I mean, you enjoyed it, right?
Of course! I like the second one, too.
It had to make my top 15, so...
And it's a good Christmas movie, too. My 14 is... Okay. Listen, here's the thing. There are so many great Disney cartoons, but they all get so much credit. I mean, we all know them. But there's this one movie called The Black Cauldron, which I love. But it was considered too dark. I think it was the first PG-rated Disney cartoon. It was made in the 80s. People thought it was too generic, like it had been done before. I completely disagree. I love the characters. I love the animation. I love the Munchies and Crunchies dude. What's his name? The furry thing. Have you ever even heard of that movie?
No.
No. But it's so fun. It's so great. It's so nostalgic for me. And, I mean, yeah, there are Disney cartoons that are better made than that movie, more creative. But because this movie is unappreciated, I like it that much more. So The Black Cauldron, I love it.
Number 13 for me was actually True Lies. Had to come up with an Arnold one. That was one that came to mind. It's not one that he is known for it. But that's just one that I thought had a bunch of everything in it. So I had to put that on my list. You haven't seen that one, but I think you should eventually. But yeah, that's one that I would recommend. That's one of my top 15. Well,
That's
14.
That's the prequel to Jingle All the Way, right?
If you want to say, yeah, sure.
Oh, then I'd watch it. All right, I guess I'm on number 13. 13, The Great Escape, starring Steve McQueen and a whole roster of people. Just like all the tunnel scenes, as a kid, they were just so fun to watch and so fun to like just pretend that I was there with them. And all the characters are great and charismatic and likable, and it's just a very, very fun movie. I recommend it. I'm sure most of you have seen it, but I recommend it. And Steve McQueen is just the coolest guy in the world.
Number 12. I put Without a Paddle. Now, a lot of people probably don't know about that movie. They did make a sequel after it, which totally flopped. But the first one I at least enjoyed. Had a little bit of everything. It's about a couple of guys that go on an adventure looking for, which they had a story as little kids about looking for a buried treasure. And one of the guys that passed away... the rest of the three actually go on this journey because the person that passed away made a whole traveling kit for them. So they go on this nice journey, and it just has everything. It has adventure, bunch of comedy in it, but I recommend it. I at least liked it. So
Number 12. I love this movie. Lost in America. Directed, written, and starring Albert Brooks. This is his second best movie in my opinion. This is just one of the greatest comedies ever made. A lot of people have a problem with the ending, it's too abrupt or whatever, but I thought it really fit in with the whole movie. Do you even know who he is?
Mel Brooks?
Albert Brooks.
Oh.
Yeah, he always gets mixed up with Mel Brooks.
Oh, because that was actually my next movie.
Well, he's the voice, everyone knows him as the voice of Marvin, whatever, the dad from Finding Nemo, but he's made so many movies.
Okay.
That he directed, wrote, and starred in. This is his second best. Great comedy. Lost in America.
Well, my next one, number 11, is a Mel Brooks one. It's Blazing Saddles. I really enjoyed that. You haven't seen that, which I think you should. Can't really explain that much for YouTube's sakes, I guess, because it's inappropriate, I guess you could
What?
say. Yeah.
Really?
Well, with the N-word and all that, so.
What?
Yeah.
Now I gotta see
Well,
this movie.
it's
What are you talking about?
It's a good comedy. I recommend it to a lot of people. It's very hilarious, especially the fart scene. Challenge: try not to laugh during that scene. That's very hard.
Okay. Number 11, and I'm surprised I picked this movie, but I had to. It's kind of a newer movie. Funny People. Yeah, the Adam Sandler, Seth Rogen movie, directed by Judd Apatow, the director of Knocked Up and The 40-Year-Old Virgin and the new This Is 40 and all that. And he's produced like millions of hit comedies. But Funny People really is my favorite one of any of the movies he's touched. And because I'm a sucker for the comedies that are actually funny, honest, and then emotional. And Funny People, it gets so dramatic, but it's really effective. And I might have shed a tear the first time. The biggest complaint is that it's really long. But the first time I watched this, I watched it over like 2 days. So like I watched half of it one day, the next day I watched the rest of it, and it felt fine to me. Just very, very enjoyable. I don't know why I enjoy it so much, but it's one of my favorites. So that's number 11.
My number 10 is, I don't know what year. It's pretty recent. Zombieland. I really enjoyed that, especially for all the Twinkie fans. I'd say. So, it's one of my favorites. I like it. That's why it makes my, 10.
I like it too.
Yeah.
Number 10. Martin Scorsese's After Hours. This is a movie that I watched alone one night, and I don't know why, but I got so into it. The next night I watched it again. There are so many things that happen to this guy. And it's a very simple story. This guy that has a very simple, boring life, he goes out one night and just has the craziest night of his life. And the first time I watched it, I felt so anxious for this guy going through all this crap. And it was funny, and it was like I felt bad for him, and I felt anxious. And I just love this. I love the story of someone who has a boring life, goes out and gets in this huge adventure, and then, I'll spoil it, by the end, he's grateful for his boring life because of the chaos that he just went through in one night. And it's just such an entertaining, funny, and anxiety-ridden story. Love it.
Number 9, I picked Bolt. I know it sounds a little hoaxy, but I really enjoy it. I saw it on TV a couple days ago again. I haven't seen it for a while.
Oh, is that the first time you watched it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but I've seen it again. Bolt, I like it in a way. I mean, it's pretty interesting. You got John Travolta and all that. So I shed a tear here and there, I'll admit. And that's...
I didn't finish it, so I don't know.
You haven't finished it?
I think I watched like the first 10 minutes. But
Okay, then I can understand.
it was a screener, though. So.
I decide, as I've said through every movie, is I have to watch it all the way through. Just at least watch it once. Yeah, I'll give any movie one try, and that was one I decided to go all the way through, and I enjoyed it towards the end, so it was interesting.
You. Number 9. Blake Edwards' A Shot in the Dark, starring Peter Sellers. This is technically the second movie in the first Pink Panther series. Again, I grew up with the Pink Panther movies. This one was always my favorite. And this one was just always the funniest. It was Return of the Pink Panther was really funny too, but it had so many slow moments, so many boring moments. Blake Edwards can really do that with his movies. Have really funny moments, but then surrounded by really slow moments. A Shot in the Dark had a really great pace, and so that's why I'm choosing that. And just the genius of Peter Sellers, like that's what I grew up with, and that's I cannot not have him on my list. And there's a really great twist ending too. It's a good mystery as well as comedy. It's an all-around great movie. I recommend it.
Well, number 8 I picked was Jurassic Park. Don't really need to explain a whole lot. What the heck are you doing? Well, Jurassic Park, I had to pick that. I'm sure all of you have seen it. It's one of my favorites. I constantly kept watching it over and over. I just loved that movie.
Is that the one with the shark? The dinosaurs!
Have you never seen that before?
Yeah, I saw the dinosaur. They might actually think that I didn't see it, so I'm not going to put that in. Okay, go.
He probably hasn't seen it, but yeah.
I've seen all
Jurassic-
3 of them. I've seen all 7 of them.
kind of excited. I hear word that they're coming out with a fourth one, so it's kind of interesting trying to think where they're gonna go from where they've been. I mean, they've kind of done everything, but who knows? I'm looking forward to it. So
I got a good concept for the fourth one. They get chased by dinosaurs. What do you think? Number 8. Duck Soup, the Marx Brothers. And it's amazing because older movies usually have a really slower pace. But this movie, it's just, the pace is beautiful. The most boring part is the beginning, but it only lasts like 2 minutes. Basically, everything Groucho says is just hilarious. Every line he says is just a classic. The pacing's great, the jokes are great. You need to check that movie out. Great movie, Duck Soup.
So number 7, I would have to say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I love you.
Makes my list. I'm a kid. Some of these are gonna be kid ones, so that was one that I loved, especially the second one.
The Secret of the Ooze.
Yes. Yeah. So, who can't love them? I watched cartoons and all that, so I love their movies. I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with the newer one that's coming out.
Michael Bay. Michael Bay's out, right?
I heard Michael Bay's out when he wanted to make them
Good.
aliens. So, but you never know. So I'm interested to see what the new movie's gonna be like.
Could have been. I don't know why Raphael swore so much though. It's like, oh look, it's like the first time you see the turtles. Oh, it's the turtles. Damn. Oh, okay. That's like the first line he ever says.
Or the classic "Oh Shell."
Number 7. I'm going with Dr. No. That's the one. Again, I grew up with it, but it's also just it's so nostalgic for me. It has so many great moments. 3 blind mice in a row. 3 blind mice. Weird opening. I don't know why they did that, but Sean Connery is the best Bond. I mean, I know that's the most popular opinion, but it really is true, right? Yeah. Harry is sexy. So, I even love like the small things. I love the vent scene. I love the costumes. I love the 60s feel to it, the look, the lines, the characters. I just love it all.
Number 6, I picked Spaceballs. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. At least you saw that one. That's a great movie. I mean, you can't get through that whole movie without laughing. It's more enjoyable after seeing like Star Wars and all that. That's one that I really enjoyed was Spaceballs.
Not a bad choice at all. Number 6, The Departed. I'm not enthusiastic about saying this because this is such a popular movie, and I tried to choose movies that I really do love and have a passion for, but they don't get as much credit as they deserve. The Departed, we all know it, we all love it. Not very exciting to talk about because everyone knows it and everyone loves it and everyone's seen it. So The Departed, I think you all know why. It's just a great movie, and I can't deny it's probably Scorsese's best. I know Goodfellas is up there, Raging Bull and all that, but I really think The Departed has the most replayability.
Number 5, I picked the X-Men. I love their movies. I grew up with the cartoons and all that, and it's just enjoyable. It brings the characters to like real life. You don't have to picture them just cartoons. I really enjoyed that, especially Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine.
Yep. He was born for that.
He was born for that role. I mean, he's played what, like probably six roles, but yeah.
Number 5, City Slickers. This is by far Billy Crystal's best movie, and the thing I love about this comedy, I love comedy. I'm a sucker for comedies that has an emotional edge to it. Every line, pretty much, I love. Every line that's supposed to be funny, I think is hilarious. But then it also has the Daniel Stern character, Daniel Stern from Home Alone, one of the bandits, the not Joe Pesci one. His life is so miserable. And there's this one scene that involves a gun, and it's just every time I watch that scene, everything about his life finally comes out. And it's one of the most emotional scenes I've ever seen in a comedy. And I pretty much always tear up at that scene. So I love comedies that make me laugh enthusiastically and that also gets the waterworks going. And this movie successfully does that. I even really liked the second one. And I know no one liked the second one. But I think it was really, really good. Only thing that lacked was nothing emotional, nothing. There was kind of a cheap way to bring Curly back in and everything. But I just love that whole gang. I love the settings and the adventure vibe to it. And that's my kind of comedy. City Slickers, number 5.
Number 4, I picked Jumanji. movie I love. I know you haven't seen it, but Robin Williams is like meant for that role. Now I've even heard of rumors that they're gonna reboot that movie for try and make it modern day. I don't know how that's gonna work out. I mean that's a movie I think sometimes when I think of movies I think they should just not even worry about rebooting them. It's a classic on its own. I love it. We have to buy it at some point. It's just a classic. You'll see it and you'll enjoy it. I know you will.
I do want to see it. Number 4. Some Like It Hot. Marilyn Monroe, Jack Lemmon, Tony Curtis. There's so many great cross-dressing movies. Tootsie, Mrs. Doubtfire, both great movies in their own respect, but I think Some Like It Hot is just, that's the king right there. And it's just such a charming, seductive, and hilarious movie. Billy Wilder's best movie, if you ask me.
We're getting there. Top 3 now.
Oh my god.
Top 3. All right, my top 3. Number 3, I picked Rat Race. So many famous actors, I'd say, in that movie. It's back from, I think, 2001 that was made. I just recently saw it. It's still good. For even being a 10-year-old movie, it's still really great, and it's something I think everybody should have. I think I found it for real cheap for $5, but I don't think it's worth that. But it's worth more. But it's a good movie. That's why it's on my top 3.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, that's one of them.
John Lovitz.
Yep.
Number 3. Oh, I love this movie. Defending Your Life. Oh, you've never heard of it, have you?
No.
That's a sin. One of the best movies ever made. I cannot get tired of this movie. It's got a great plot. It's another Albert Brooks movie. He wrote it, directed it, starred in it. It also stars Meryl Streep and Rip Torn. Albert Brooks's interpretation of the afterlife. So he dies in the beginning of the movie, and he goes to Judgment City, where his theory it's not this isn't what he believes, but when you die, you have to defend your life to some judges, and show them that you conquered whatever fear you had, so you can move on to the next whatever. In Judgment City, you can eat as much as you want. You could look at your past lives, what you used to be in your past life, and that scene is hilarious. I enthusiastically love this movie. It's one of the movies that got me into movies. Everyone needs to see. I'm going to show you that movie. Everyone needs to see that movie.
I will for sure see that. All right, so number 2, I have Mission Impossible down. Now, I had to put that on my list. I like it. Even the first one, it's still not... Some people say it's cheesy, but for me, it's called Mission Impossible. So, of course, he's going to have impossible missions. And I'm excited that they're going to keep going on with that and make a 5th one. So, can't wait. I hope that happens soon. But
the helicopter going through the bullet train tunnel. The bullet train, a very, very small train. Very small tunnel.
Mission Impossible.
I can go on. It's a very fun movie, but yeah, impossible. Mission Impossible.
Wait until you see the second one. He hasn't seen... Well, you have, but you forgot.
Don't embarrass me in front of our friends.
That's the nice thing about them. You don't
I've
remember them. You can enjoy them, watch them again later on.
Number 2. Aliens. Yeah, that's right. A sequel is better than the first one. Back when James Cameron was good, and he had cannolis. No more Titanic and Avatar. You know. This is a freaking movie. I know a lot of people complain the first part is too slow, the beginning is slow, but I liked getting to know the characters. They were funny, they were fun, it was interesting. The sets were beautiful and dark and depressing, but really effective. And the ending scene with all those aliens, forget about it. Oh, I love that movie so much. Tell me you've seen it 10 times.
I have.
Yeah. I know people have seen it like, yeah, it's pretty good. Not one of my favorites. All right, well, it's one of my favorites. I love it.
All right, we're at number 1.
And it's like the first. I think it's like one of the first R-rated movies I've ever seen.
Well, I think the ratings are weird too, because I remember Spaceballs was PG.
I think that was
the back there.
That was before
I
there
know
was
it's back before the ratings, but still, it's like.
I think Indiana Jones: Temple of Doom was the movie that was like that we need a rating between PG and R. It was that and like what? I'll look it up later. You'll tell us. I don't know. Our commenters are so smart. Yeah. John, why are you turning in Friday the 13th Part 3? That version's out of print, you moron. Oh, it is? You guys are really smart. Alright. Continue.
I'm on number 1.
Holy crap!
And I also found my number 15
Oh.
too. So
Oh,
I can go back to that.
Alright, do 15.
So, okay, we'll start with 15. 15 I had down was Deja Vu. Now, I like that movie. You've never seen that?
Denzel Washington?
Yes.
Denzel!
Yes.
Never seen it.
Yeah, from what I remember, it was a great movie. I need to watch it again. I'd actually like to buy it. It's on one of my lists to buy. Do you want to do your number 1 first, or should I?
No, you do your number 1.
Okay, number 1 I had, unlike him, his was further up, but I had Departed as number 1 on mine.
Further down.
Yeah, you still enjoyed it, but
Yeah.
it's a major list. I'm happy on that. And that's the only movie that we've had
we-
on both of our lists. Wow.
Scorsese brings us together.
So yeah, Departed was my number 1. I enjoyed it. Twists here and there. It was a very enjoyable movie. And your number 1, sir?
My number
Do you need a drum roll?
I think I've said this in other videos, but Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. This is a movie, it's very special to me because, again, I grew up with it. And we would watch this every Thanksgiving. It's like the only Thanksgiving movie, only good Thanksgiving movie that exists. But,
We watched The Mummy on Thanksgiving all the time.
oh yeah, because turkeys and mummies.
Yeah.
And it's a very simple plot. These two guys are just trying to get home. That's it. And John Candy is so likable, so lovable. He's one of my favorite actors. It's sad that he left us so soon. So that's it. Number 1. I meant to put down The Incredibles somewhere on there. Because that's my favorite animated movie, I think. The Incredibles.
That's a good one, too.
The Incredibles. Name a movie and then pull out your hand.
Toy Story?
Whoa! How does that happen? Alright, well thanks for watching. I hope this was sort of, kind of entertaining.
Sort of.
And now you know us more.
We should get Ryan to do this.
I was gonna say, the reason why we didn't have Anderson do this is because he's only seen about 15 movies.
It's true.
I feel bad. I don't have any horror movies, and I love a lot of horror movies. I gotta pronounce that or else I say horror.
We'll save that for another video.
Yeah,
If
like-
this was boring, let us know so we know what to do for our future.
What do you like? Do you like the Out and Abouts? Do you like the list video? I couldn't even watch the Laserdisc one. I thought that was so boring, but maybe you guys were faking it. I wasn't really crazy about that.
So if you have any recommendations, let us know.
Yeah, what do you want us to do?
Let's magnify.
What do you want us to do? I think the Out and About, like, we've done that to death, but I still think it's fun. We're still gonna do
I like
those.
mixing it up.
Yeah.
Doing it out and about and then this.
A melting pot of movie madness, of nerddom. So,
Madness.
thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Wasting money, Uno. Wasting?
Money.
Wait,
Wait,
you're going to be
oh.
watching it from...
Oh, wait.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Wasting
Money.
money. 1.
Woo.
Life.